Hey, so I am cooking some pasta tonight for dinner. We've got it on the stove back there boiling away. A couple minutes left for that to cook. So I went ahead and I cooked up some onions and mushrooms because that's what I had. And I already turned them off because they were starting to brown a little bit too much. But basically, what I'm going to do is I just kind of throw whatever kind of vegetables I have in the pan. This time I just had mushrooms and onions. I like to put zucchini or yellow squash or something in there, just to give it a little bit more volume, I guess, but I just stuck in there what I had. I had some mushrooms like kind of, dying slowly in my refrigerator, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on. I'm just going to add some pasta sauce. I like this ragu. Sometimes I like to get the organic, but I just got what was cheap and on sale this week. So I'm going to prop you guys up right over here. Let's see if we can get a good shot so that we can prop up. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to dump in some sauce. I started the heat back up on this so that I could get this going. My pasta is just about finished. So what I'm going to do, this is kind of what I do to make it not like spaghetti. I do have shells instead of spaghetti cooking, but to make it kind of different, I like to make it creamy, which of course, if you're vegan, you know that there's kind of limited options to make your dinners creamy when you're vegan. So I don't really like a lot of the cheese substitutes because they're really funky and they don't melt sometimes. But what I like to do actually is put a little bit of vegan mayonnaise in there. It kind of gets it creamy, and then I put in a whole bunch of nutritional yeast. So I have a whole bunch of nutritional yeast. I'm actually not going to make the whole entire batch of it creamy because I don't think my kids like it that much, so I'm going to leave that part out. But my pasta is getting ready to actually beep, so I'm going to turn that off. I don't know if you guys can see back there, but I'm going to turn that off and drain it really fast. So bear with me here. I am in need of a new pasta pot because mine is terrible looking. Like, many trips through the dishwasher has made it really disgusting. Just drain that out over here. Okay, so I'm just going to dump that right into the pot. Let me adjust real quick. I'm the kind that I always overfill my pot with pasta. Like, I don't put enough pasta to water ratio, so there ends up being like only pasta and not any water to drain. That's okay. It still works out. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that together real quick, let that kind of cook together and absorb some of the nice pasta-ish flavor. So here's the thing about onions and kids. They don't like them usually, but many adults do like to have onions, especially in pastas and stuff like that. So I've noticed that if you really cook them down and kind of caramelize them so that they're nice and soft and they're not like something that stands out when they actually eat it, then they don't really notice it in there as much and they don't complain about it. And then they don't really know that they're eating onions, even though it tastes a lot better, I think, when there's onions in your pasta. Hi.
Hi. Oh.
So, anyway, so, alright, so I'm going to let that sit there for a minute, but while I'm doing that, I have some,
Can I try some pasta?
But not yet, it's not done. So, I'm going to put some in a bowl. It's getting close to being done. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off so it doesn't burn on the bottom.
Hi, you guys.
But I'm going to put some in a bowl.
cookie.
So, alright. So this is going to be my bowl because nobody else is going to eat the creamy probably. Who's home right now? Alright, so turn off all of my heat. Okay, let me pick up my camera if I can do this with one hand. Okay, here we go. We need some light over here. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to add in some mayonnaise. How much is up to you? Now, I never said that this was healthy, right? I'm just saying that right now. Okay, so it looks really disgusting at first. Wait till it all gets mixed in, though. And actually, when it's super hot like this, your mayonnaise almost disappears. I don't like it super hot personally myself. But for the sake of Periscope, I'm going to go ahead and mix it in. Okay, so now for the nutritional yeast. Oh yeah, now I'm telling you, I use, if we want some exact measurements, I would say somewhere between a buttload and a crap ton. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. Maybe some more. So after I do this and mix it in, when it starts to cool down, it gets all nice and gooey and creamy and delicious. And it honestly tastes like cheesy marinara sauce. And then I personally like to add in sliced black olives and sometimes some capers, depending on if I'm in a caper kind of mood, I guess. And then, I guess if you want to make it a little bit healthier, eat it with like a side of, a side salad. Probably a much smaller portion, but I'm a hungry girl, so I'm going to eat a big bowl of it. So there you have it. Nice, creamy, cheesy tasting pasta. Put some olives on top.
That looks good.
I like a lot of olives too. Alright, see you guys for another vegan dinner together.
Bye!
Maybe tomorrow.